Welcome, good morning. Welcome to the Prado Museum in Madrid, Spain, and our weekly Wednesday series in English, live on the Prado Museum's social media programming. This is thanks to American Friends of the Prado Museum. We are a nonprofit. Our mission is to support this museum in everything possible, along with our sister organization in Spain, the Fundación Amigos. Today, we're here to speak about one of the incredible masterpieces here in the beautiful main gallery of the Prado Museum, in a spot that I like to call the magical spot because we can see that Prado's extremely strong personality that's marked by the Habsburg collectors, the monarchs. Here behind me we have the Venetian colorist school from the Renaissance led by Titian, and in front on the other end of the intersection, one of the most beautiful intersections in Madrid and possibly beyond, the collection of Rubens that very much follows the school. And then on the other axis, we have the great Carlos V at Mühlberg by Titian, in front of the most important room in the Prado Museum dedicated to Velázquez with Las Meninas. And also from here, we're not going to look again, we can see Goya at the end. And so all of these artists are influenced by the artists that preceded them. And so the characteristic and personality of the Prado is really thanks to the election of the Habsburg monarchy for the artist Titian. And what we see here in this very prominent position in the Prado Museum is the painting, the first equestrian painting of Carlos V at the Battle of Mühlberg. So Carlos V is also known as Carlos I in Spain, and this is because he inherits from his four grandparents an enormous extension of territory. He inherits from the Catholic kings, Isabel and Ferdinand, the kingdoms of Castile and Aragon, including the Americas, including the Aragonese holdings in southern Italy. And from his paternal side, his grandmother is Mary of Burgundy and Maximilian I, the Holy Roman Emperor. So he inherits from that side all of the Burgundian low countries, which includes the area of Brussels, Belgium today, and the Holy Roman Empire, which is Austria, Germany. I mean, an enormous extension of land, becoming the most important monarch in Europe of the time. And as ruling over such a large territory had its challenges, he's at the moment of, he's a Catholic king, but at the time of the Protestant Reformation. And this painting is made in 1548, the year after a very important battle at Mühlberg, which is in modern day Germany. Mühlberg was a battle site where rebel Protestant princes from Germany had rebelled against the Holy Roman Emperor. And it was thanks to this battle that Carlos V, Charles V, was victorious and had a meeting to see what concessions to maintain the peace in his empire. And he calls Titian, the great Titian, who's painter in Venice, very successful painter who is painting for increasingly more and more important clients, leaving from Venice out to the princes and the city-states in Italy, to the Pope, and now he's called by the emperor to paint the imperial family. And we know that this is very important for Titian because Titian only left Italy 2 times for a client, for a commission, and these were always for Charles V. So this is painted in Augsburg at a time when political decisions are being made. The battle had been won a year before, but Carlos V wants peace. And so Titian creates this equestrian portrait combining different traditions One very important tradition is that of a Christian knight on horseback. We can think of St. George defeating the dragon as a defender of a Christian martyr, and also the combination of the Roman emperor. The only Roman emperor equestrian sculpture that survived from antiquity is Marcus Aurelius. Titian definitely knows this sculpture, and he probably uses it as an example to combine these two traditions to make Charles V the inheritor of the Roman Empire, because he has a similar situation as the Holy Roman Emperor, governing a large extension of land, and the Christian values that were so impressed upon him as he grew up in the court in Flanders, especially by Erasmus of Rotterdam, the Christian values. And that he should be painted also without allegory, in a realistic way, but also Titian's wonderful hand at making it very majestic at the same time as realistic. It's realistic in the way that he is wearing what he wore in battle. We know he knew this from documentation. This is a very special armor made by one of the best armories in Europe, the Helmschmidts. This armor can be seen in Madrid in the Royal Palace. It's very important. And how he has one of the first pistols in history, if right along his leg is a pistol, and with a short lance that reminds us of the Christian knight. He's also wearing as a decoration the Toison d'Oro, and this is from his Burgundian heritage and is a very important insignia. Another day we'll spend a whole session only on the Toison d'Oro. And the rider is in control of the horse. Equestrian portraits are in the tradition of being reserved for the governors, for emperors, and they're indicative that the horse does not know who's riding them, so you have to be a good rider. And it's similar to good government. If you can ride the horse, you are a good governor. Titian also decides to have the emperor looking away from us, kind of an introspective tone. He is thinking about his responsibilities as the defender of the Christian religion, but this at the same time, this is a more political than a religious painting, in the sense that Charles wants to put peace before religion and make concessions to the princes so that the empire will continue. And we see this beautiful background with the river Elbe, which is near Mühlberg, and it was because of the crossing of the river that they were able to win the battle. But we see this is a battlefield without any conquered battling army. It is only of Charles V, and much more of a symbolic idea of who he is and what the empire means. Now, this painting was inherited by Philip II, and since Philip II had the painting, it has been hung always in very important places in the royal palace, such as the main hall of mirrors. Given it was the symbol of the Habsburg Empire, Habsburg monarchy in Spain, the Habsburgs that collected the art, most of the art that we see from this spot here at the Prado Museum, and very much contributed to the image of Spain, of the Prado, of the Habsburgs, of everyone. And it's thanks to Titian's beginning influence that other equestrian portraits follow, and we can see them from where we're standing right now here in the Prado Museum. So there's many other aspects to find out when you visit, but this is definitely one of the places to start. So thank you very much for being with us today, and we will see you again next week.